So I wanted to come on and kind of tell you about an experience I recently had. So my husband and I have actually been horse shopping for the last month and a half. And honestly, like, it's just been so hard. I was not expecting it to be, well, okay, I kind of was expecting it to be so hard just because I know that it's really hard to find that kind of partner that you want in a horse. And I watched a ton of YouTube videos about it, and almost everybody always has a super hard time finding their first horse. This is my first horse, and I actually purchased him through an auction online. The place we purchased him from is an hour away from us, and honestly, we were planning on going and seeing the horses, but I actually had plans to go see another horse, and the lady never messaged me back, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just watch this auction just in case, I see the right one, and, just kind of, just in case. So here I am watching this auction, and if you don't know, online auctions, at least this one, it took hours. Literally, I was watching it from noon all the way to 9:30, 10 p.m. when I actually placed the winning bid for my horse. So it was really funny because my husband and I, we were on and off the computer. So I was taking care of the kids. He was watching the horses. He would call me in if he saw one that he thinks that I would like. We saw so many different horses, and none of them were just kind of calling to me. Some of them were calling to me, but only because they looked pretty. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, that one looks gorgeous, but it's not really, he's too young. I didn't want to get too young of a horse for my first horse, just because I know that I would have to go into training and all that and help the horse learn how to interact with people better. So I wanted at least something that was 10 years old. Found something that was 11. I'm super excited. It was kind of an adrenaline rush when I was bidding because I saw him. I was watching him in the arena. They ride him around in the arena. And I was like, oh, I love him. I want him. But I was also doubting myself because there were so many horses that I wanted. But he's honestly, like, he was cute. He was the perfect amount of cute with the perfect amount of handsome. So I thought it was perfect that he was 11. He was also described as being a trail rider horse, which is perfect because I'm not going to do any kind of showing or anything like that. I'm literally just a pleasure rider. And he had been ridden by the whole family. So he just basically, he sounded up our alley, and he didn't seem like he would be one of those that had super high bids. Because honestly, our budget is really low, and it's really hard to find a good, decent horse that's not going to buck you off for for my budget, basically. And I don't know, I've always had this feeling that I was going to buy a horse from an auction. That's always been kind of this, I have this gut feeling sometimes where I feel like this is the thing that I should do, or this is what's going to happen. And most of the time I'm right. Honestly, I don't even remember the last time that gut feeling was wrong. So I went with it, and I placed the bid, and it was really funny because my husband had just gone to bed. He was like, okay, I give up. I'm going to bed. I have to work tomorrow. He has to wake up at 1 a.m. to go to work. So I sat down at the computer, and literally maybe 3 horses later, Dreamcatcher walked into the ring. And I was so nervous. I was placing the bids, and my heart was pounding, and I was being super quiet. I completely forgot to even call my husband. I was like, so I just started placing bids. Actually, he was already over 1,000 once I started bidding. So I was thinking about it super hardcore for a while. And then I started. Okay, so honestly, it was the best feeling and worst feeling ever. like once I put in my last bid, it was literally only $100 away from being our budget for an auction horse. Our budget for an auction horse was actually lower than our normal budget for just a privately owned horse, because I do know that auction horses they might have issues, you know, they might have health concerns, they might need a little bit extra training, they might need some extra care, you know, things like that. So I did take that into account, and so I docked my budget, and literally $100 away from my full budget for an auction horse. Like, this bid won, and he called out my bidder number, and I was screaming in my head. I was shaking. I was so nervous and happy and just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is happening. Just me thinking about it is bringing back tears. Like, because I was just, you guys, if you don't know, I have been waiting to buy a horse basically my whole life. So to actually say that I have a horse, I own a horse, is kind of unbelievable for me, and it's still kind of unbelievable because I haven't even met him. I'm going to meet him tomorrow, and that's a whole new video, a whole new set of pictures, but I was over the moon, and I almost couldn't even go to sleep that night because I was so excited. And there's my daughter. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to kind of share that experience with you guys and bring you along this journey of owning my first horse.